Hey everyone, it's Mystic Perp Sports. We're back here again today in another live mock draft video. 12-team PPR using FantasyPros live mock draft feature. Today we're going from the 7th spot. Interesting spot to pick from. Usually a little different range of players available at this spot. Excited to see what we can get going. I'm also very excited for this NFL season coming up. I can't wait. We're almost there. We're in the end stretch. Let's get going. All right, so first pick, they're about to make their selection. They went with McCaffrey. Then Eckler went second to Goodfellas. Haven't seen that happen yet, but you know what? Eckler's a first round talent. Don't know if I'd go that early. Actually, I do know. I wouldn't go that early for Eckler, but that's just my personal opinion. That's my opinion. After Eckler, we see Justin Jefferson go off the board, and that's a pretty good value to get for him right there. Third pick, full PPR. Smash that all day. After Justin Jefferson goes off the draft board, Jamar Chase goes right after. Typical selection right there. Typical turnout so far, other than that Eckler pick, or typical to a degree. Then we had Travis Kelce go with the 5th pick. We got one pick to go right before we are on the board. Let's see who we have. I was thinking maybe Kelce just to test it out, see how I like my team when I pick him first, but that's clearly not going to be an option now. Let's go ahead and hide these drafted players and see who we can pick. Let's just go over here and see who they take real quick so we can get a better idea. Cooper Kupp goes, so now we're on the board. Tyreek Hill's a great option here. I don't know if I'll take Barkley this early, but it's not a crazy reach or anything like that. But just because I took Tyreek Hill in a prior video, I think this one I'd still like to start off with a wide receiver. So I'm gonna go with Diggs. Always a solid option. Can always count on Diggs. I think the whole thing with him and Josh Allen is blown out of proportion. I don't think there's really much to that. So we'll take Diggs with our first pick, and we'll be pretty damn happy about that. And after we took Diggs, Nick Chubb goes, and then Tyreek Hill. So Team 9 getting Tyreek Hill, that's pretty good value right there. Pretty damn good value. CeeDee Lamb goes right after Tyreek Hill. So Amon-Ra still on the board. Garrett Wilson still on the board. Who do we have? A.J. Brown is still there. Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard. Good options still left. But then A.J. Brown goes, so we see one of those other top receivers go off the board next. We'll see who they take with the 12th pick here. See what they do. Saquon Barkley. Okay. I think I'll speak for myself. Kind of expected that to happen right there. Then he goes with Amon-Ra St. Brown. So he went with a stud running back and then a stud wide receiver. So Team 12's going with the balanced approach. I don't hate it. But then after St. Brown, we have Derrick Henry go, and then Devontae Adams. To the team that had CeeDee Lamb, we'll be up here soon. Bijan goes. He's been falling in some of these drafts, which surprises me. I don't understand why he's been going down the way he has, but it might just be this draft. So Tony Pollard goes. We're up again. I've been liking a double wide receiver build. You know what? And I know Josh Jacobs is back. I don't really still want to deal with that right now personally. I really like the double wide receiver start this year, so we're going to go with Garrett Wilson here too. And I'm going to say that's pretty damn solid for a PPR start. Just my opinion though. What do you guys think? Would you have taken those same two players right there? Would you have swapped that out, switched it up, hit them with the Cupid Shuffle? Let me know. Let's see who we got though. Okay, so next team still hasn't gone. We'll let them go, and then we'll see who we can maybe start targeting with our next pick. It'd be great if Josh Allen fell. I don't know if that's really going to happen, but stacking him with Stefon Diggs would be crazy. A crazy good approach. So we'll see what happens. After we went with Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle went right after us. Then Josh Jacobs went to the Travis Kelce team. And now it looks like Chris Olave went to the Jamar Chase team. Unfortunately, it looks like they are on auto pick, and Team 6 might be on auto pick. So hopefully they snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity, but we'll see what happens with them. We got 10 seconds for the next person to make their pick. They already have Justin Jefferson. Wouldn't be surprised to see if they just go with another receiver here. I don't know the best running back. And okay, there it is. It's Jonathan Taylor. So they're taking a risk, a theoretical risk, just not knowing what's going to happen with Taylor right now. But if that comes to fruition, if Taylor becomes his old self, his explosive self, and he's in a situation where he can be the top back, which I'd assume he would be if anyone's trying to trade for him, a JJ and JT start is very good. It's very good. So Devontae Smith goes after JT, then Joe Mixon, then Aaron Jones. So team number 1 went triple running back. They went really early for Mixon, in my opinion, and then Jones. That seems a little early there too. We had other options on the board still, like ETN. Who else? I mean, I know there's better running backs possible. I'd take Ramondre. I would take Jahmyr Gibbs over the players that they took, but that just seems to be their strategy. But after Aaron Jones comes off, T. Higgins, then Patrick Mahomes, and then Ramondre Stevenson. And then we're going to be up soon, and it's looking like we might have a shot at a top quarterback if we want to go that way. So Jalen Hurts and Najee Harris. So we spoke it into existence a couple of rounds ago. We're going to go with Josh Allen here, and I don't know. Yeah, there's no one else here I would even consider at this point, especially that we have a Stefon Diggs stat going too. We didn't have to force this at all. That's a fire start. Let's go. Let's go. I like that a lot. So on our next pick coming around, we'll see who's available at running back. I think it's time to start tapping into that. But I'm not going to reach for anyone if I don't think it's worth it. So we'll see who's available when that pick comes up. After we took Josh Allen, Keenan Allen goes afterwards. So we got the Allen and Allen bros going back to back. And then Andrews, Mark Andrews, that is, of course. Lamar Jackson, then DK Metcalf. And then the last pick of the third round is about to go down. Jahmyr Gibbs is still on the board. I would be ecstatic to have him. Calvin Ridley goes. Amari Cooper goes. So we might have a decent shot here depending on how people want to act in draft. I would be happy with Kenneth Walker, ETN, Jahmyr Gibbs. I would probably be targeting one of them with my next pick. Let's see who we have available coming up here. Justin Fields goes right after Amari Cooper, so it's looking more likely that we might get one of those guys. I don't want to keep saying it though, because I feel like when I do that, they start to go off the board. So let's go ahead and, yep, there it is. I'm going to go ahead and stop talking about that right now. Okay, you know what? It doesn't matter. Okay, Travis Etienne, then Jahmyr Gibbs goes. So ain't that something right there? That's just how it goes. It's all good. Who do we have that we could consider that I would want? I would take Kenneth Walker at this point. I would like to take Breece Hall, but I don't really want to deal with the slow start right now, especially if I already have Garrett Wilson on my team. I don't know if I want to double dip into the Jets at this point just yet, but if I were going to double dip, those would be the two. But we're going to go with Kenneth Walker with this pick. We'll have him be our RB1, and hopefully, you know, he lives up to what we need him to do this year. After Kenneth Walker, Deebo Samuel goes, and then we'll see how this unfolds. After Deebo, DeAndre Hopkins was drafted, then Chris Godwin, and then DJ Moore. Breece Hall is still on the board. It looks like some other people might be a little hesitant about his health too. I can't say I blame him, but if he's there on our next turnaround, which I don't think he's going to be, I'm definitely going to take him. Absolutely. In the 5th round, I will take Breece Hall. So it looks like the first team finally took a receiver with Drake London. But just to bring us back real quick, after DJ Moore was drafted, Joe Burrow goes off the board to the team that has T. Higgins. So at that point, I can't really hate on that pick at all either. They got Burrow, who's going to be a top quarterback, of course. And then they have the T. Higgins stack right there to go with it. Drake London goes to the all running back team to start, like I mentioned. Christian Watson goes to him as well. And then Darren Waller goes off the board to the team in the second spot. Not a bad squad right there for them. Not a bad squad. Team 3, so they got Patrick Mahomes to go with their Justin Jefferson and Jonathan Taylor start. And if DJ Moore can live up to what he is capable of with Justin Fields, Team 3 is looking pretty fire right now. They're looking pretty damn good. Breece Hall goes. Okay, so auto pick took him. We almost had the chance right there, but auto pick took him for Team 3. So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4 people on auto pick, unfortunately, but the rest of the team is still, or the rest of the lobby is still here, going hard in the paint. So Justin Herbert and then Terry McLaurin, Miles Sanders, we're on the board. I like how we look right now. Let's take the best value. I feel like one of these tight ends might be available on the next pick. They might not. I think I'm going to take Dameon Pierce here. What is his bye week though? I can't ever tell in time. I don't know if FantasyPros puts it down. But either way, it's okay right now. We're in our first couple of picks still. We'll take Dameon Pierce. So he has the same bye week as the Jets. So I have 2 7 bye weeks and 2 13 bye weeks. It's not too crazy. It's nothing to really worry about right now. So Dameon Pierce, young legs, he's going to be a good pick in my opinion if he stays healthy. He has pretty damn good potential. So after we took Dameon Pierce, it looks like the team up next hasn't taken anyone yet. Just based on their build, I wouldn't be surprised if they took a receiver here. So they went with Deshaun Watson. That is a little surprising for me, but if they're feeling like they're running out of quarterbacks that they can depend on, I'm not gonna hate it too much at all. If he bounces back to his normal self, that's a pretty damn good pick. And he does have Nick Chubb, so even though Nick Chubb doesn't get much passing work, he might get more this year. He has that little bit of a stat going right there too. After Deshaun Watson, we have Mike Will made it come off the board to the team that originally took Tyreek Hill, Bijan, Mark Andrews, and Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that's a little early for Mike Williams in my opinion. After Mike Williams goes George Kittle and then Deontay Johnson, and then the 12th team is up right now. So we're not going to get Kittle, obviously. We're not going to get Darren Waller. I'd be happy with Dallas Goedert if he made it to us. That'd be pretty nice. But if not, we'll just have to assess the situation and see what the lick read on that one. Trevor Lawrence went to the last pick, so the turn pick, they're deciding on what they want to do next. So they have a stack too. Calvin Ridley and Lawrence, but then they also went Christian Kirk. So this guy scooped up, other than Zay Jones, scooped up the Jacksonville receivers. That's a little bit of a risky move right there. I like his team otherwise. I feel like maybe he could have done something here. Tyler Lockett probably would have been a smarter decision right there, in my opinion. But hey, that's just my opinion. Alexander Madison goes after him, and then the aforementioned Lockett. Brandon Ayuk goes. And then we're going to be up in one pick here. How's the cheat sheets looking? Who do we have here? So at this point, we're going to be looking for a tight end or a flex. Whichever one I'm feeling a little froggy about. I would like to take Goddard if he's there. It looks like he will be. So we'll take Dallas Goedert right here. We'll take Dallas Goedert. We'll get a dependable tight end if he's, granted he stays healthy. I'm pretty happy with that too. Diversified our portfolio as well with these bye weeks. We got some stocks over here. We got some options up there. So I'm good with that right there. When it comes back to our next pick, we'll be targeting our flex spot, and we'll see who's going to be the best available right then. But it looks like we'll have some decent options to pick from. I would give the rook a shot, Jordan Addison, to be a flex. I would pick Jahan Dotson. Who over here? I would pick Kamara as a flex, of course. We'll see who's available though when it gets back to our pick. But after we took Goddard, Kyle Pitts, J.K. Dobbins, I've said in multiple videos I'm not touching J.K. Dobbins this year. That's just a personal preference. It just feels like he's hurt a little too often, and his recovery is a little slower than I like. I may be talking out the side of my ass, but I'm just not going to touch J.K. Dobbins in any of my drafts this year, and that's just a personal preference. then James Conner, then Jerry Jeudy, and then Rashad White. So the team in the first spot is going to be up next. They went triple RB, and then they went double WR, and then they took Cam Akers. What are they doing? That seems like a lot of running backs in my opinion. And then they took Kamara. See, okay. They're just trying to scoop up as much value is what it looks like to a degree. We'll see what makes it back to our pick here when it gets to be our turn. So after Kamara went, Michael Pittman, Mike Evans, James Cook. We're going to be up here pretty shortly. Yep, there's the ding. Javonte Williams, Dak Prescott. We're up next. We're going to be looking at a flex spot here. I'd be happy with Dotson, like I mentioned. One of these running backs looks a little enticing. Possibly David Montgomery, but I don't think I really want to go with David Montgomery. I'm going to go Jahan Dotson here. I liked what I saw out of him and Howell, so we'll go with that. And we'll bank on improvement from Dotson, of course. Young guy, great potential, so I'm happy with that too. I like how our draft is turning out right now. A double wide receiver start, in my opinion, and in my preferences and how I like to build my team, seems to be the best way to attack things. So we'll see how that might play out this year, though. After we took Dotson, though, George Pickens, then Jordan Addison. So he was right there. Looks like Team 9 was interested in taking him too. So I'm glad I at least got Dotson right there, because who knows? I mean, I don't think he would have lasted until my next pick, of course. But Pickens, Addison, DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery, Isaiah Pacheco. I think that's a pretty good value right there. Khalil Herbert, and then Brandon Cooks. So we're going to be up again here pretty soon. We have 3 receivers, 2 running backs, 1 quarterback, and 1 tight end in Dallas Goedert. So coming up these next couple picks, we're going to just target wide receiver and running back. We're going to build depth there. We'll just have to see who's there to make the best decision on who we think should go for us. But after Brandon Cooks goes Antonio Gibson, Tua Tagovailoa, Dalvin Cook. We're up next. Who do we have here? A.J. Dillon's there, Brian Robinson, Gabe Davis, JSN. I think, if your league has an IR, and mine does, I'm going to operate under that assumption. I'm going to go with JSN. I'll bank on a rook here. I know he's injured. I know his wrist is messed up. And I do know that I have Kenneth Walker. But at this point in the draft, I'll take the swing on JSN. I'll put him in my IR. And depending on how he's going throughout the year, we could put him in as a flex. We could put him in as one of the actual receiver spots if it's coming down to it, which I don't think that'll ever be the case with who we have on our team. But, who knows? But I'm pretty confident that's not going to be a thing. Or we could trade him if it comes down to it. If he's playing well, we can trade him. So he provides us with some options there. A.J. Dillon goes after our pick. Cortland Sutton, Gabe Davis, and then Treylon Burks. And then right after Treylon Burks goes, the team in the second spot looks like they went ahead and took Brian Robinson Jr. from the Commanders. Zay Flowers goes after that. Elijah Moore goes right after that too. And then Team 2 is right back up on the board. After Elijah Moore went Samaje Perine, Juju Smith-Schuster, and then Michael Thomas. We're going to be up here pretty much in one pick. I know it's 2, but the guy in front of us is on auto pick. So right after the guy in front of the guy in front of us makes this pick, it'll be right to our turn, just like it is. So Jerick McKinnon, Zach Charbonnet. We have 4 receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, and a quarterback. I would like to see who we have at running back as a possibility. This might be a bit of a reach. I don't know if it really is, but I'm gonna go ahead and take Jaylen Warren. We'll see what can happen with him this year. He's been looking real explosive, so I like the upside he could provide us. We'll just have to see how the season unfolds right there. But I'm good with that pick right there. We have a young running back core. All of our guys are young. Our receivers are all young except for Diggs, but he's not an old man himself. Goddard isn't super old. Josh Allen is obviously in the prime or about to enter the prime of his career, however you want to look at that. So our team is looking pretty young, agile, and hopefully, not too prone to getting hurt, other than obviously JSN is hurt right now, but he'll be coming back soon. That's a wrist thing. It's not something to look at like it's going to happen all the time to him. But after our Jalen Warren pick, Quentin Johnston goes, and then Damian Harris. After Damian Harris, Jamal Williams goes right off the board, then Jacoby Myers, and the next pick is Rashad Bateman. And then they got the turn pick, so they'll be making the next pick too. We'll see who they want to take. We'll see who they want to take here. All right, so they ended up going with Sky Moore, and then Evan Ingram goes right after that. So let's take a look at our team again. Josh Allen, Kenneth Walker, Dameon Pierce, Stefon Diggs, Garrett Wilson, Dallas Goedert, Jahan Dotson, JSN, and Jalen Warren. I like that. Pat Freiermuth goes right after Evan Ingram. We're going to be up here soon in about 2 picks, so we'll see who's on the board for that. After Freiermuth, Nico Collins goes off the board. We'll be up in 1 pick here. Let's start to see who we have on the cheat sheets. Obviously it's going to be running back or receiver again. Who did they just take? Let's double check. They took Rashad Penny. I was kind of considering him, but I mean, I don't really know if I really wanted to go with that, so I'm glad they made the decision for me. Elijah Mitchell could be a choice here. Maybe Zeke, but we did just take a running back with it. I mean, we do have about equal options, I'd say. Let's go ahead and go with Elijah Mitchell. I know he doesn't stay healthy very often. I very much understand that, but let's say he does stay healthy, and unfortunately, if C-Mac gets injured, we're going to have Elijah Mitchell next up, and if that is the case, that's a league-changing move right there, but we'll just have to see how that goes. I don't hope anyone gets injured, but he's just insurance for right now. That's the best case scenario. Even though he didn't do too bad sharing the field with C-Mac, but I mean, it's depth right now. It's a bye week thing right now, so I'm fine with that. Jeff Wilson Jr. goes right after. Kadarius Toney, Allen Lazard, Romeo Doubs, Tyler Boyd, David Njoku, Rondale Moore, Raheem Mostert, Zay Jones, and then OBJ himself. And then Team 5 is about to make a pick here. So again, this is our team right here. 2 running backs here. So 4 running back, but 4 receivers. Niners defense goes Darnell Mooney. We're up again. I'm going to look at a receiver here, the best available receiver. But to be honest, man, this Tyler Algier is always staring me in the face. If anything were to happen to Bijan, that's the move right there. So I'm going to do it again. I've been doing it in a lot of videos, but I'm going to do it again. And for the rest of this draft, just based on how many running backs we have now and how I like to build my team, we're going to probably just hammer wide receiver from here on out. And then, of course, with our last couple picks, we'll take our defense and we'll take our kicker. But after we took Tyler Algier, Dalton Schultz gets drafted. And then Team 9 is up next. We'll see what they go with. Alrighty, so Team 9 went with Devon Achane, who is currently dealing with an injury. We'll see when he gets back. Adam Thielen, Kenneth Gainwell, Jamison Whiskey Williams, Tyler Higbee, Devin Singletary, and then Ezekiel Elliott goes. That's pretty damn good value for him, I'd say. 12th round. He's obviously Ramondre is the main guy there, but Zeke isn't too bad himself. Yes, he's in the the back end of his career, but he's not a scrub. So 12th round value for Zeke. I'd be more than happy with that if I was that drafter too. So solid pick right there. Solid pick right there. Let's see who goes after him just here in a second. Tank Bixby. I like that pick too at that point. So The team right here, Team 9, went back-to-back rookie running backs. Not a bad decision. Anthony Richardson went. I was actually considering him in my mind just as a backup quarterback, and I don't normally do that, but he presents a lot of upside himself and potential trade value down the road, so I'll just keep it in mind. We're going to go receiver here. Like I said before, Chark is injured. Who knows how long he's actually going to be out. KJ Osborne, I think I'll go with that for right now. I want a piece of the Minnesota passing offense. Unfortunately, he is by week 13, so maybe I put him in for Garrett Wilson 1 week if I'm not going with JSN. We'll see how that works out, though. But with our next pick, I might see if Isaiah Hodgins is still available. I like what he might be able to do this year, because in New York, I mean, yes, you have Hodgins, like I just mentioned. And then the only two viable threats in my mind are Waller and Barkley for, taking volume away. So I'll probably take a chance on Isaiah Hodgins here if he makes it to me. But after we took Osborne, Okonkwo went, Justin Tucker, Cole Kmet, Dalton Kincaid, Gerald Everett, Kirk Cousins, Dallas Cowboys defense, Michael Gallup, Kendre Miller, Deontay Foreman. And then Team 5 is up right now. They went with DPJ, Daniel Jones. So the guy that we wanted is going to be here. Let's go and take Isaiah Hodgins, call it a day with our positions that aren't defense and kicker, and start to focus on what we can do next. I think Carlson would be sweet. Dude hit a 62-yarder the other day, so I'd be happy with him. I'd be happy with Koo. I'm not going to be too picky with my kickers. Same thing with the defense. I won't be too picky. I would like to get the Patriots if possible, but we'll see what the lick read again. We'll see what comes up next. But after we took Hodgins, Tyler Bass goes off the board, so they took their kicker potentially around early. I've been seeing some people taking Tucker and Niners defense a round or two early. In their eyes, they're going for possibly the best defense and possibly the best kicker and securing them. So I don't really hate the strategy too much, but I know a lot of people might hate that. That might be a little early, but you're getting yourself a top type of position by taking them. Geno Smith, Philly defense, Greg Dulcich, Rashawn Johnson, Buffalo Bills defense, and then the Jets defense goes. So who are we going to have possibly with our next pick? I'm going to take Carlson if he's there, and then I'll take a defense with my last pick. We'll see what happens here. So Patriots defense, or Butker, and then Patriots defense. And this guy already took his kicker, so that should leave Carlson for us. So let's go ahead and take Daniel Carlson. Take that bad boy. And there's always a chance that Vegas isn't really, getting the touchdowns with Jimmy G. Who really knows? Carlson's solid either way. We'll take him. And then we'll target a defense on our last pick, of course. Evan McPherson goes right after us. And yeah, it's just going to be that from here on out in the draft, and we know that. Evan McPherson, Sam Laporta, Denver Broncos defense, Chiefs defense, Saints defense, Young Hoku, Young Wei Koo, that boy Koo. Let's see who he takes next. So he's going to take a skill position more than likely. So he took Kirk Cousins way back here for his quarterback. He definitely waited. He took, double quarterback just in case Kirk ain't working out. He went with A-Rod. That's what it's looking like. Jason Sanders, Brian McManus, Jake Elliott. We're going to be up here in 2 picks. Start looking at our defensive options. How's everyone feeling about this team so far? I feel like it's pretty solid. I feel like I say that a lot though, but we'll see. Pittsburgh Steelers goes, but DJ Chark went right before that. Come on. All right, so defensive tiers left. I'll take a chance on Miami defense. I'll take a chance there. I don't hate that. So that's our team right now. What's everyone thinking about this? Please give me any feedback on how you thought this team turned out. I appreciate everybody watching. I value your time, and I hope that these drafts help a little bit. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I do these drafts in one take. I want everyone to get an authentic experience on how these can turn out. I don't sit here all day trying to make the perfect draft and nitpicking and restarting and doing all that. So what you see is, you know, the first time turnout. We went from the 7th pick today and we secured Diggs. I think that's pretty good. But again, please like the video. Please subscribe if you liked what you saw too. Comment below, give me some feedback, how you thought this team turned out. I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you so much. This is Mr. Perp Sports. We'll be back again. We'll finish out our mock draft series before the season starts. And have a great rest of your day or a great rest of your night. And I will catch you in the next video.